Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Monday edition of Today in Sports Betting, doing it MLB style. Scott, I'm going to take a couple games here and a couple of our favorites and talk about them. So, yeah, buddy, let's get rolling.
Yep, let's do it.
Well, first of all, if you saw that game last night, Phillies, they didn't get robbed, but a lot of the Phillies think they got robbed, Scott.
Well, you had a home run, which you thought tied the game. Then they reviewed it, hit the top of the wall and bounced back, hit the railing above the wall and then bounced back, and it was called a double.
Where's a fan when you need him?
You need a Jeffrey Mayer in that situation. But, yeah, at the end of the day, the Mets ended up winning. Game was nuts. The Phillies were winning, gave up a bunch of runs in the eighth, I think, and then the Mets gave up a bunch of runs in the ninth, and the Mets held on for a win. But you got the Phillies playing against the Brewers on Monday at around 7 p.m. You got Hauser against one of our favorite aces in the league, Vince Velasquez.
Vinny!
Who might be a better outfielder than pitcher. But you look at this matchup here, I don't think it's going to matter because baseball's games are very, very independent of one another. Do you think that any of that's going to, linger for this game where they're just going to still be frustrated?
Oh, from last night?
Yeah, I'd say no, but I'm just bringing it up for tabling.
I don't think so, no.
I agree, but I'm sure some people might maybe try to create a narrative that they're going to be, fed up, so they'll be motivated, or I don't buy any of that. I think they show up to the ballpark and it's a new day.
Yeah, I agree.
I still like the Brewers in this spot just because Hauser was good in his last start. Velasquez, we know, is not good.
Not good. He's only made 2 starts this year.
Yeah, and his ERA is like 6+.
He's given up 5 earned and 8 1/3. So
don't get me wrong, Hauser has not been amazing his last couple of starts, but he's been okay. Meanwhile, though, the Phillies, the one issue I had with this team last year was the bullpen. And yesterday, the bullpen blew up again. So I'm not sure if that is them reverting back to what we know this team is, bullpen-wise, or if they just had a bad game. But you look at Milwaukee, this team can pitch. Can they hit? Not really. But against Velasquez and the Phillies bullpen, I think they'll do enough. So at around -110, -115, potentially even plus money at plus 105 or so, I got to like the Brewers or pass. I can't back Velasquez as a favorite.
Yeah, and this is a Phillies team that just has a hard time scoring. My problem with Hauser is just too many walks, man. Just too many free passes. I mean, you look at the game. He had a game where he went 5 earned, gave up no earned runs. But in those 5 innings, he gives up 6 hits and 4 walks. So he's got a whip of 2 and still gives up no runs. So
I'm just gonna throw it out there that since we're talking about the walk issues, Velasquez has walked 11 guys in 12 1/3.
Well, I haven't even gotten to Vinny yet, but
yeah. Well, I'm saying Vinny's in if you want to talk about walks being an issue, Vinny might be in his own,
Well, that's true, but he's given up 3 walks in his 2 starts in 8 1/3.
I'm just saying, for comparing the walks to innings, it's not pretty.
I agree, but he's been better as a starter since he's gained his strength and is able to move into the starting rotation. So
yeah, I'm just looking at the line here. I know Phillies have been good at home. Milwaukee, though, randomly 9-3 on the road. Randomly been really good on the highway.
That is weird.
But at plus 105, I got to take the team that's currently in first place in their division. So I'll go with Milwaukee with the better starting pitcher.
Yeah, I guess. And, this in the Phillies bullpen, again, they haven't been bad. They've actually been better than the Milwaukee pen, believe
That's
it or
what I'm
not.
saying. I'm not sure if yesterday was a fluke or if that's maybe a sign that it's been a fugazi up to this point.
It's hard to say because, they're about ERA of about 4. Both these teams, Milwaukee about 4.5. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I randomly want to say the over. But I have no confidence in either one of these offenses. They're both just horrific offenses.
They're very, very streaky, and that's putting it gently.
Well, yeah, and the problem is the good streaks don't last as long as the bad streaks. Milwaukee scored 4 runs a game.
Yeah.
Philadelphia put up 3.7, so it's hard to back the over there. Yeah,
I'm not exactly thrilled by this game by any means.
Nah, I'll suck it up and take the price. Yeah, I'll give you the plus 100. I'll take even money.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
All right. Let's go. We got a pretty good matchup as far as interesting pitchers go in a game that's right now it's pick'em. That's going to be the Tampa Bay Rays and your Los Angeles Angels. Glasnow goes against Ohtani for the Angels. Scott, I know you're a big Ohtani fan as far as a pitcher goes, right?
I am not. I'll give him props so far this season for having a 3.29 ERA. However, we talked about walking and how that's been a problem for Hauser and for Velasquez. He's pitched in 13 2/3, walked 13 guys. He lets up a ton of base runners, and now the Rays can't hit. So that's kind of the balancing act here. We know how good Glasnow is. I mean, Glasnow's been ridiculous. You go through his numbers, 1.67 ERA, 0.8 whip, 56 strikeouts in 37 2/3 innings, only 19 hits. He's been phenomenal. But you look at Ohtani, and he didn't pitch that well against Texas. He got smacked early, did bounce back after that. But I'm just concerned by Ohtani's lack of command. And I think that that's been an issue that's plagued him for his entire career, not to mention the injuries that he's had when pitching. But
yep. Yeah, this is another guy, like you said, he struggled his last time out against Texas, giving up 4 earned in 5 innings. The time before that, he shut out Texas for 4 innings, but he gave up 6 walks.
He walks a ton of guys, and if he's going to be constantly dancing around and his pitch count's going to get up there, friendly reminder that once he gets pulled from the game, he can't bat anymore. So you're probably getting about 5-6 innings max of him batting, which hurts LA's lineup.
Why don't they put him in the bullpen?
Great question.
Why don't they put him in right field and then bring him in when you want him to pitch?
Because they think he's a starter, even though I don't think he should be a starter. But he's pitched okay. But I can't.
He's never gone past 5.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But that's my point. Is that he's going to be taken out of the lineup after the 5th inning too.
Right. What? So you're missing at least 2 at bats from him?
Yeah, it's not pretty.
No, that's.
But the point I'm trying to say is that even if
Joe Maddon's a genius, though. By the way.
Who?
Joe Maddon's a genius.
I think he's an idiot. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I know he has a World Series ring, but so does Dave Roberts. I don't think
he's only got one more than you do, buddy.
I'm just saying.
Can't be that good.
He has a World Series ring, but so does Dave Roberts. People don't think Dave Roberts is a good manager. So that's not the end-all, be-all. But either way, even if you want to make an argument that let's just say the starting pitchers are going to cancel each other out in some universe here, the Angels' bullpen stinks.
Yeah, they're not good.
This. Tampa's bullpens has not been as good this year with Anderson being out, but they're still pretty good.
They've been horrific on the road, by the way. 6.30 ERA on the road for Tampa Bay bullpen.
Well, you look
Awful.
at
put them outside in the fresh air, they suck.
What's the Angels at home?
3.89.
Okay, it's actually not bad.
No,
better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, their ERAs are very close. 4.36 for the Angels, 4.39 overall for Tampa Bay.
Well, I had a thought, but then you brought up the bullpen stats. I didn't know about the road splits there for Tampa. Tampa first 5 played Publicky and go Glasnow against Ohtani.
Yeah, because they're gonna walk a shit ton of batters.
You're gonna have guys on all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So whether they can score them or not, now Ohtani does have the ability to throw big pitches.
Yeah.
Like most Japanese pitchers, he's got 17 different pitches.
One thing that Tampa's good at.
2 of them, he throws 1.5 of them for strikes.
There's one thing Tampa's good at, though, is that I know they have a bunch of basically role players who play every day, but they're very patient at the plate. So I think they could work some long counts.
Yeah, this is the Tampa Bay. Generally, they're usually better, Scott. I just looked this up. They're just 12th in the league in walks this year.
Still saying, though, 12th is, above league.
No, it's just a little surprising to me. I thought because they're usually up at the top.
Yeah, usually they're top 10, top 5, something like that.
Agreed.
Either way, the point is that if they're going to work some counts, and Ohtani's been known to.
By the way, who's dead last in the lead in walks, Scott?
I'm assuming it's the Royals because you always talk about how they don't take pitches.
Well, it should be the Royals, but it's actually the Angels.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, the Angels are 2.44 walks per game. Royals are 20th, Scott. That's a fantastic performance for them, by the way.
Usually you tell me they're always awful and they're usually bottom 3.
Yeah, they are. They're dreadful, but they've got some new blood. They've got some guys that actually take pitches. They've got Santana. They've got Benintendi, guys that actually will take pitches. It's
okay.
I don't know how they're not going to be Royals very long, obviously.
I know my point is that even though Otani's ERA is good, he
Yep.
walks too many guys, and Glass now is an ace.
It's going to come back to bite you, especially against a team that's selective like Tampa Bay. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to swing at a ton of bad pitches. It's hard. It's hard to back the Angels in this spot. I'm with you. You're getting a good price. It's one of those things. It's almost an automatic for me. It's like, it's like these games we saw that where they're playing games with the Dodgers a couple weeks ago, and you'd see, you take Kershaw minus 140. You're like, where do I sign up for that?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah, you
give
me
minus 115, and that's I think one point that I'm going to briefly mention. We've talked about Otani and how his experiment as a starter has not worked out too well. This year it's been okay despite the walks. Minus 115 makes it seem like Otani's actually being priced as like a number one pitcher on a rotation.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of nonsense because he's not.
Yeah, agree. Well, and I'll tell you what, Scott, this game actually, it opened up at LA minus 104, and people went, I'm sorry, what now? And it's now Tampa Bay minus 115. So even in this short period of time, there's been a 20-cent line move.
With Glass now, there has to be.
That's unusual for this early. So
what do you think Glass now closed at 25 to 30?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you hear our voice and you want Toronto, if you want Tampa Bay, get on it because it ain't going to be the 115 is going to be gone probably by the time this gets posted.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, there you go, bud. Anything else? Anything else grab your attention?
Well, the rest of the baseball card I'd say isn't the most attractive card in the world, but. Right. I am kind of intrigued by that Toronto game. Just looking at that matchup against Oakland because you have two pitchers who, have been had, I'd say, opposites of each other. You've had Montes, who got shelled pretty much every start he was in, and then I'm pretty sure his last start was actually decent, wasn't it?
Last two starts were outstanding. I looked that up because my eyes were immediately drawn there. Like, I got afraid Frankie Montas because he sucks. And I look up the stats to make my point. And no, I'm sorry, Scott. It's the other way around. He was good the first two. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was okay. He sucked the first one, good the next two, sucked the next one, and then was average his last start. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 walks.
Okay, so the point is Montes is hit or miss. Meanwhile, Matz was phenomenal. And then the Nationals absolutely tore him to pieces.
Blew him up. And Fetty Wap ruled the day there, buddy.
And we know that Matz has been a guy, with particularly the Mets organization, who has been known to kind of fall apart or be a pretty below-average pitcher.
Yep.
So the question is, once again, was that a fluke, or is he going to revert back to being the Steven Matz that we know, which is a gas can about, 65% of the time?
Yeah, that seems right.
So in this spot here, I feel like I have to like the over, don't I?
Yeah. I think that's your play because even when Montas is pitching well, it's one of those situations where he gives up 1 run, but he still gave up 6 hits and a walk in 6 innings. And when he gets shelled, he don't jack around either.
Plus his pitch count gets up there because he strikes out a decent amount of guys, but his command's not the greatest, so that should lead to some stuff. Now, I know Springer did get pulled. I believe it was today. So I think Springer might have gotten injured again. Shocker. So just keep that in mind. Toronto might not be at full strength offensively. But still, with those pitchers and the inconsistency there, I feel like I have to consider the over.
Well, and here's another wild card in all that. Montas gives up some home runs.
Yes, he does.
And that's not a team that you want to be vulnerable to the home run going against Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. He's given up 4 home runs in his last 2 starts, so that ain't good. So
you have any other games you want to talk about, or that's pretty much it?
No, I'm anxious to see the new kid for the Royals. I had a play ready to go on that one. I thought it was going to be Junis, and I'd forgot they had announced that late last night. So
I have to be interested in fading Kyle Hendricks, but I don't know what the line's going to be for the total or the team total because it's Wrigley, so you never know anything the night before.
No, it should be interesting. I've got it listed at. Let's see here.
I think you said Dodgers were minus 190, but
yeah, you're getting closer. We're creeping up to the 200 mark now. It opened at 158. Jesus,
that's just a joke. I mean, you got Buehler against Hendricks. I mean, It's
Yeah.
just completely wrong.
Yeah.
But okay.
And that didn't last long. So like I said, that's been 40, 45 cent move there.
Mm.
So keep an eye on that one. As always, guys, if you're looking for more information on these games or any others, you know where to go. It's winnersandwhiners.com. Best site in the world for predictive sports analysis. As always, free predictions and previews on every single game, every single day. And, of course, we wish you nothing but the best today. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money when you head back to the window. All right? You guys have a great day. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for the whole team at Winners and Whiners, I want to thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.